being bullied for just being different, being bullied for not speaking up, it's happening again, which I understand at this stage deserve to be made and can feel uncomfortable. Sometimes it is really stressed if somebody keep on calling you names. You're gonna react.
You know, I live in China and I love living here, but there are so many challenges that sometimes you don't get to hear it. Why I don't usually share them, because these are not everyday challenges.
Guys, hello YouTube. My name is Simply Rhoda. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If it's your first time here, thank you for joining us today. As you can see from the title of this video, today I'm going to be talking about something a bit sensitive. This is concerning my son Tyler and his education. I'm being bullied by parents in my son's school. So how did we get here? And how did this happen? I think I've addressed some of the issues in the past. If you can't find that video, I'll definitely put it in the description box. I've addressed it in when my son was in first year. For those who are new on this channel, let me give you a little bit about my background. I am in an interracial marriage. My husband is Chinese, hence we do have a mixed child, who is my son, I'm going to be talking about today in this video. So him being a mixed child, his skin is not the same as mine, and it's not also the same as his dad. He is mixed. Well known that if you look different from the Chinese people spoken about, they're gonna point at you, stare at you, and stuff like that. My son is not being spared on all this. He is in second grade right now, and according to the system of schools in Weihai, I don't know if this is what happens all around China, but in Weihai, where I live, most schools, they do reshuffle the students in each grade. After grade 1, my son was reshuffled. Their class was reshuffled. That means in grade 2, he has new classmates. So again, I want to be frank about this topic. I know it's a sensitive topic and it's going to cause a bit of a rift, and some of you may end up asking me why you are not transferring your son to another school, or why can't you put your son in an international school. This is also something that I've addressed previously. In my previous videos, I have spoken about the reason why I've decided to put my son in the Chinese school. I'm just going to talk about it anyway. The reason I put my son in a Chinese school, it is because I wanted my son to learn basic Chinese, which he won't be able to grasp when he goes to an international school. Of course, I do have plans to move him to an international school when he's in 4th grade. Now he is in 2nd grade, so he still has another 1 year he's going to be spending in a Chinese public school to further strengthen his Chinese skills. And also some may ask me, okay, if you are facing this kind of problems in this particular school, why can't you just move him to another school? Which is another thing that I'm going to be addressing now. Changing schools, like from public school to another public school, is not an easy thing in China, whereby the school you are registered in, or the school that you attend, is heavily controlled by the government system, which is the area where your house is, or the area where you have registration, which is popularly known as a hukou, is the area where your school is allocated. Now, you cannot just deliberately choose to go to another school that is out of your district or out of your area or near your community. It's automatically done that if you try to register in another community or another district, the hukou automatically refuse you to register in that school and still refer you back to the school that is within your area. My place of work is next to a primary school, which I was thinking that I'll send my son to this. You know that I can't do that. When I applied for his 1st grade place, he was automatically placed to the school that was near his house registration area, where our house is. So this is a problem now. Now that he's in 2nd grade, I cannot just move him to another school because of the system. So that means my son is going to stay in the school where he is right now if I choose to leave him in a public school. Wondering why I feel like I mentioned that I am I feel like I'm being bullied by parents in my class, in my son's class. And why am I saying so? You know, kids are kids. There are things that you can't prohibit kids from doing, such as playing together, such as pushing each other, such as fighting for small things. These are things that commonly happen among children. I work with children. I work with kindergarten kids. It happens a lot. But there's something that I realized, which I feel like Chinese parents do not teach their kids. Maybe it is because of the one-child policy, whereby they have to treat their kids like princes and kings, or children are spoiled to the extent that they want to have the same environment in school as the same environment they have at home. They always forget that a school is a big place that they meet kids, or they meet princesses and princes that are coming from different families. Hence, they are all coming to be in one place. So there is not going to be one kid that is going to be special more than the others. So let me talk about this particular family that is bullying me each week about my son's activities in school and his interaction with their child, find out the real truth, like what is really going on in that school. What I've realized is the boy that my son is always having problem with, this boy sits behind Tyler. That's his sitting position in the class. And the problem that has been happening a lot is a mixed child. Hence, his skin is different. He looks different than any other kids in that school. He's the only mixed child in the school. So sometimes he's a victim of bullying. I mean, word bullies. He's getting bullied. He's getting pushed. And Tyler is a strong boy. And when something like that happens to him, he surely acts and put matters into his hands. So he told me yesterday that, because I got worried. Every week I receive a message from this parent telling me that my son is hitting their child. And I always ask them the question, what had happened? Why did my son hit their child? What had happened? What did their son do? The teacher multiple times about this case, I wanted to really understand what was going on. And the teacher's answer to me was, their kids, they play together. And it's not like Tyler is causing problem. They play together. These kids always play together. Like break time, they push each other. They are boys. It's a normal thing. The teacher always tell me this, because I always try to find out what is really happening. Is my son a bully? Is he doing this on purpose or something? And the answer from the teacher is always like, kids are kids. Kids are playing. Tell us, Mom, you don't need to worry about this. They are playing. It's normal. There's nothing really serious in school. It's kids play. But unfortunately, the other family, their child will go and tell that Tyler is bullying him. So what really pushed me was yesterday, I was at work and suddenly I started receiving series of texts. How did they find my number? Anyway, in Chinese schools, usually to make the teachers' work easier and convenient, they usually create groups. And these groups, every parent is in this group. So it's a large group. And in this group, you have access to any parent in the group except their personal phone numbers. But as to the chat of that group that is called the Ding Talk, you have access. You can private message a parent because you are both in the same class, in the same group. So you have access to have private messages with each other. So what happens with this parent? Before, it was the dad, the husband, who found me and I just found a message on my phone and a voice note that my son was bullying their son and my son threw their son's eraser, because the complaints are really petty. My kid throw your kid's eraser. I don't see any big problem with that. If it's something that is really serious, to my understanding, the teacher will have to find us or tell us the problem in the school. So them just budging in my private messaging and just start calling me and telling me these things, in my response usually is, I don't know what had happened. Let me speak to the teacher first, then we can have the conversation. So yesterday when it happened, this parent sent me a message while I was at work, and the moment I read up, the moment you open a text or read a text, the other person is notified that you have opened and you've seen it. So the moment I opened to read the message she had sent to me, she immediately called me. And before I even know what was happening or what was the problem, because I haven't finished reading the message, she started shouting at me, your son is hitting my kid. I'm not happy about that. And I'm like, wait. what you are talking about, I don't understand what you are talking about. Can you please calm down? Tell me what really happened, because I haven't seen my son yet and I don't know what happened. I don't work in that school, so I don't know what happened during the day in that school. If your child say that my son hates him, why can't we talk to the teacher? Then we can hear what really happened, because I feel like the teacher is the one who stays with the kid the whole day, and the teacher may notice or may see these things, or the kids may report to the teacher of whatever happened during the day. Before us parents know what really transpired, we have to find out from the teacher. And this parent just went ballistic. She started sending insults to me, started sending a lot of messages to me and threatened me, which is something that made me very angry. And when she called me, she hung off and she called me again to say some insults. So I ended up speaking mama to her. I felt like I was bullied. And at first, I didn't realize that that was a mother of the same child whose dad once called me, and twice, by the way, about the same matter. And upon asking the teacher just brushed away the whole situation, and the teacher just said the kids were playing, no one is wrong, they were just playing. And the kids actually admitted to the teacher that they were playing. So she was actually surprised to know that the parent called me directly without consulting with her. And upon I hear that, I send the text to the dad that next time don't call me, don't text me unless you find out the truth of the matter. Because if you just listen to what your child say, do you even take time to ask your child what had transpired? Or you just listen to what your child say and jump to conclusions and put a blame on other people's kids? So from that time, the parent didn't respond to me. And now this time it was the mother who actually found me and started sending me insults, which also made me a bit angry. I like to address issues in a civil manner, but I realized that we have parents that are arrogant in my son's class, which made me really upset yesterday. And although I was trying to be civil with her, she was not having it. To her, her son is a saint. Her son doesn't do anything. My son is a monster. And to her, my son is bullying her son, and by which she wants to take matters in her hands. And she went on to the extent of accusing me, of blaming me, of not addressing these issues with my son. She actually said I am an irresponsible person. I don't know how to advise my child. I don't know how to take care of my child. She had the right to say all this, and even told me that if in the future she's not going to call me, she's just going to go to school and deal with my son. Guys, can you believe that a whole adult is texting me, threatening me that she will go to the school to fight my child? So by doing that, I felt like there is something that is really missing in parenting in China. Because for a person who has common sense, I don't think she would have the guts to actually take a phone and tell me such insults. Guys, I felt really, really bullied. I felt really bullied, and I had to address this issue with the teacher and ask what really transpired. And guys, I had a long conversation with the teacher and this parent. And this parent, the last message after I spoke to the teacher, I sent her the message telling that if anything happens to my son, I will involve the police. And I still have her insult messages on my bullying me. She is bullying me, which is really bad. And she is also threatening my child. If anything happens to my child, she's going to be responsible, even if she's not, because I kept her text. And I don't know what she may do to my son. I really don't know. Now, I fear for my son's safety, because it seems like I'm dealing with crazy parents. Both husband and wife, both of them, they have the same mindset. And upon asking my son told me the real nasty things that I wouldn't want him to hear, and I wouldn't wish anybody's child would be labeled like that. He is being discriminated his color. And my son told me most of the time when he get to push this boy always tell my son that he is a black person, he is African, and in a way to mock him and just try to find fault with him. So the moment my son pushed that boy will go home and report to his parent that Tyler hits me. I don't know if the parents deliberately send their child to say these things to my child. Hence, my child is acting upon this. Stand being labeled and being called names in the class, being bullied by his classmates. He's taking matters into his hands, which I also understand that is not right. He should tell the teacher. But this kind of issue once happened when he was in the first grade. And I also kind of asked other people around him how I can deal with situations like this, because I fully understand that if you are not in that situation, you may look at a problem not in the same way a black person will feel when they are being called that. So for most Chinese people who are close to me that I've tried to address this issue with, they just say, oh, they are kids. It's normal. He shouldn't think much about it. If they say anything like that to him, he should just ignore them. It's easier to say than to do, to be honest. If somebody keep on calling you names, you're going to react no matter how many times you try to hold it in, but you're going to react, which is happening to Tyler. Sometimes he's really stressed, and I never address these issues. I never called their parent to address these issues. It once happened when he was in first grade, and I end up explaining to the teacher how it feels. Like on the side of the teacher being a Chinese, she may not see it that way. She may not understand how Tyler will feel. Yes, he's different, but he doesn't deserve to be called names. He doesn't deserve to be made and feel uncomfortable in class. So he doesn't deserve to be bullied by words. So sometimes you would try to defend himself in situations like this. And when he was in first grade, it's a matter that also happened, and it also took longer to settle until the teacher really understands the gravity of the matter when the children say such things to Tyler, which she went on and addressed to the parents. And the rest of the year in his first grade, we never had a problem. We only had problem in the first maybe few months of the year, and then after that this problem was solved and we never had any problem again. But now I'm seeing that in second grade it's happening again. It's happening again, which I understand at this stage I need to address it with the teacher again. I need the teacher again to address with the parents so that they can address their children, because when they call Tyler these names, it's not easy. It's not funny to hear these things. It's going to react. So I feel like we are being bullied with this parent, and I don't really understand why this parent who actually believe that her child or his child is the saint, I totally don't understand this. I don't understand this. And I felt like some parents are just ill-mannered, and they are ill-treating their children by not advising them that discriminating other people is not right. No matter how you see it, it's not right. Tyler is Chinese. He is a mixed child, just like any other Chinese person you see. He has all the benefits like any other Chinese you see. There is no difference with that. Cannot understand or cannot accept his skin tone. They cannot accept that there can be a mixed child existing there who is fully Chinese. They cannot. I don't understand why. Why is it so hard for people to accept that people are different? But we are all human beings. I find it so hard, guys. I feel being bullied. And for this parent, my last shot to her was, if anything happens to my son, actually, I also told her that she should speak to her son. Her son say some bad words to my son, and my son cannot stand being bullied by words as well, so he's going to reiterate. He's going to take action when he's being bullied. So I asked her to ask a child what he has been saying to my son, and she never responds. I'm sure she knows that her child has been saying that. Now she didn't come back to me. So how would you handle this situation? If you were in this situation, what will you do? What should I do with this parent? I feel really, really unhappy with this situation of parents in my son's class being bullied for just being different, being bullied for not speaking up. What should I do? If you were in my situation, how would you handle this matter? Thank you guys for watching. If you still haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And if you have any advice you can give me in the comment section, please go ahead. Watching. It's goodbye for now. Thank you so for tuning in. I'll see you in the next video. It's goodbye.